It's time for this month's Xbox Live Games with Gold vs PlayStation Plus, where we take a look at both services' offerings for the month of June and compare which is better. Both services have really solid months, so let's get right into this. Let's first take a look at the PlayStation Plus titles, which are far stronger than your typical Plus offerings. First, we've got the multiplayer game Killing Floor 2, which is a horde-style shooter. The game is at its best when you play with a few friends, and now that it's available for Plus subscribers, a lot of your friends will probably have the game. It's got a 75 on Metacritic.
When you're done, I can reopen the treasure vault.
Also free is the excellent story-driven game Life is Strange, which is on par with some of the best titles that Telltale put out, if not better. It's very thoughtful and thematically very unique. If you haven't played it at this point, you're in for a treat, and getting it with your Plus subscription is a very nice bonus. Life is Strange has an 85 on Metacritic.
I want proof you can rewind time!
The trucker drops his mug. The cop gets an emergency alert on his radio.
I pledge allegiance to Max and the power for which she stands.
I vow to use my powers for good, not evil.
What's up, Kate? I think it's awesome you set a tongue record on video.
You're going to be sorry someday. There's something ominous going on at Blackwell.
There's a lot of beauty here, but a lot of darkness, too.
We've also got a few lower key titles that are cross-buy with the Vita. First, Neon Chrome, which is a cyberpunk top-down shooter, and it's got a 63 on Metacritic. And finally, we have Spy Chameleon, which is a puzzle game where you have to utilize a chameleon's ability to change color to avoid being seen. It's got a 71 on Metacritic. Moving on to the Xbox Games with Gold offerings, which also has a really solid lineup. First, we've got Speedrunners, which is a new release on the Xbox One, but it's been available for a while on PC. It's a multiplayer running game where you use weapons and pickups to knock opponents off the screen. It's created to be a great party game, so since it's directly available with Games with Gold, most of your friends will have it, so that's very nice. The PC version's got an 84 on Metacritic. Next up, we've got Watch Dogs, which was one of the most anticipated games earlier on in this generation. It had a very strong premise, however, mechanically it was very rough around the edges, and at this point, most of you have probably already played the game. If not, having to not pay directly for it is kind of nice. Watch Dogs has got a 78 on Metacritic. If you enjoy your time with it, make sure to check out the sequel, as it was a far better experience.
I saw something no one was meant to see. They took someone very precious to me. Now, I'm coming for them.
We've also got 2 Xbox 360 titles to look at thanks to backwards compatibility. First, Assassin's Creed 3 is available for gold members, which had a relatively mixed reception from fans. There was a lot of strong elements to the game, the setting and design were great, however the first few hours of the game are really slow and the ending isn't anything great. Still a worthwhile game to play for fans of the franchise.
And fight for the weakest.
Allow me to introduce you to George Washington.
We could use more men like you.
And as the British Army seized control of our nation,
the man before you plotted to murder our general.
I will suffer any hardship to win freedom for this land and justice for all.
If they need to have a war, let it begin here!
It is time for the world to know my name.
Finally, we've got Dragon Age Origins, which is one of the best games BioWare has ever made. Some of the console controls are a bit underwhelming, however the core of the game is still excellent and offers so much content. Sure, technically it's aged a little bit, but it's still a terrific game and well worth the investment. It's got an 86 on Metacritic.
Victory. I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon.
Part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's why we know this is really a blight. We feel it just as they do.
This threat is greater than they realize.
The Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long.
No Grey Warden has ever defeated a blight without the army of a half-dozen nations at his back.
You must gather allies.
So those are the offerings from both services. It's a solid month for both services, however I would still have to give the slight edge to games with gold. You've got a new release in Speedrunners, Watch Dogs, which wasn't a great game but still has interest around it, and 2 very good Xbox 360 games, with Dragon Age Origins being a terrific title. PlayStation Plus is also good. Killing Floor 2 is great, as is Life is Strange, but the latter 2 offerings on Plus leave a lot to be desired. It's 4 quality games to 2, and it's hard to argue for 2. So that wraps up Xbox Live games with gold versus PlayStation Plus for the month of June. What do you think? Agree with me and think gold had the better month, or do you prefer Plus? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.